Look.
Listen.
Oh.
Taylor.
What?
Huh?
Hello.
Hi.
Everybody, it's episode 57 of Look, Listen, Cast with Geese and Guyera and Taylor. Today we're going to talk about episode 14 of the Pokemon anime.
I thought you were going to say today we're going to talk about Pokemon.
We are. Every Friday we talk about Pokemon and other things. And today is a good Pokemon episode. But Geese, please tell me, you were screaming as I started hitting start recording to not start recording?
I was just going to do another slurp of the noodles, but should I do it live for the podcast using my filters?
Filter, yes.
Only if it's Hatsune Miss Peeps. Geese, of course, Clambos, as you'll hear. She's in Wisconsin, so that means she can do
anything she wants.
That doesn't sound like Hatsune Miku eating noodles. Oh, now it does.
That does.
Yummy!
I need to have some ramen in Japan so I can slurp freely and not be judged by people.
Cooling down your hot noodles, blowing on them, and going...
And just everybody, just aggressive slurping.
Yeah.
Slurping warm noodles is one of the best experiences you can have in life.
Clambos, how about we hear what everybody's been watching, playing, looking at, and listening to this week? Like all weeks, we are going to tell you the things we looked at and ate. Were you aware? Because I wasn't.
Yeah, I was.
Were you aware that they just dropped How To with John Wilson Season 3?
What? When?
That's what I said. A few weeks back, because there's multiple episodes available on HBO Max. Max, the one you watch for How To with John Wilson.
I forgot about the new app. Oh, HBO. They're doing their best.
Nobody told me anything. I had to see a clip, and I saw a clip of him talking, and I thought, oh, what's this from? Must have been from before the show How To with John Wilson. That's interesting. Wasn't until a couple days later I discover I'm 2 episodes behind. So I watched that, and I finally beat Final Fantasy 16. Are you kidding me? It took me 75 plus hours, did all the side quests. Exhausting. I mean, it's still a good game. Taylor, I have a question because I'm not clear on this.
Uh-huh.
And as a matter of fact, did I mention this last week how there was a bit of... So I always do my side quests first, right? Before my main story missions.
Like your vegetables before dessert.
Yeah. But in the game, there was a point where you go somewhere pretty far off, and this dumb game in the middle of, like you're always going on about, in the middle of, oh my God, the stakes are so high, and the time limit is so low, and we need to be doing this right this second. The game says, or there's 15 side quests on an entire different plane of existence. And I went, but... canonically,
yeah.
In my head, the logistics of getting back there before doing what I'm doing now. But my question to you is, Taylor, you walk past all the obelisks. Canonically speaking, is Clive magically warping, or does he have to walk all the way back?
Wait, the obelisks?
Yes, every second you walk through the game, you unlock obelisks, and it goes, and it's your warp point.
Right. No, he's not warping. He's traveling there because Clive, in the beginning of the game, the first time you attune to an obelisk, he says, this will be a good way to find my way back, or whatever.
If that's true, Taylor, then I don't know what everyone in that game thinks of me, because the stakes were so high, and the amount of resources wasted of me going back to do a side quest. Oh my God.
But I mean, soldiers need soup is all I'm going to say. And sometimes an orphan needs to find his pet dog.
Sometimes. But the thing is, there are really poorly made side quests that are not fun. But then you get to the end of the game and the side quests are so emotional and the storylines are so good. It's frustrating. But it's still a very fun video game, and I recommend it for anyone with a PlayStation 5.
My main issue with the side quests is that the quality of them, between the ones that seem totally pointless and they're very silly, and the amazing ones, is indistinguishable at the beginning of the quest. You don't know until the quest is pretty much finished whether it's going to be good or not. And I don't like that very much.
This be a good game for a director's cut version. Just cut out the soup, good to go.
Yeah.
I also tried Viewfinder, which I wanted to support this game. I bought it the day it came out because when I first saw videos of it, I thought that is one of the coolest concepts I've ever seen. It has very much the Witness kind of vibes, very much Unfinished Swan vibes. It's a first person puzzle game where you pick up photographs and you can move them anywhere in the environment and create
Ooh.
paths. And this isn't fair at all, but, and I need to jump back. I'm going to jump around a little bit with this comparison here. I adore the video game It Takes Two. It won Game of the Year, so apparently other people like it as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a great game. The puzzles in that game, I've said, are good enough for a Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like the game as it was. I didn't say, oh, they should just put these in a Zelda. I said, this is a good game. From the little bit of Viewfinder I've played, I keep thinking, this mechanic is so good. Oh, I wish it was in a higher production, better made video game. And that's not fair to the developers, but it's just an annoying story. It's got budget presentation in a lot of ways. And I feel like I'm wasting my time. Like, it doesn't have that Nintendo kind of polish, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the story I can already tell is terrible. Voice acting, whatever. It's just, but the gameplay mechanic is so, so good. Somebody needs to take this mechanic and really just absolutely go to town with it. Apparently it's a short game, so I'm going to beat it.
So I played the Sea of Stars demo, and I love the game. The combat is fun. The art style is really cool and everything. But the dialogue is just so... I'm having issues. I'm going to play it, but I don't think I'm going to like the story. I'm going to try to be open to it. But I've seen a few games like that where I know that the game is good, but the story is bad. And that's always a bummer.
Also played the Pikmin 4 demo. I've never been into Pikmin before. I've bought multiple Pikmin, but I just can't get into the games. I think the same thing's going to happen with Pikmin 4. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to buy it. But I think I see why people enjoy it. It has that Nintendo polish. Just the little things, the little sound effects when you get things. Nintendo figured it out. Nintendo and Level 5, I believe, is the developer of Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni 1 has Nintendo polish, even though it didn't come out on Switch until way later.
Sadly, Ni no Kuni 2 does not.
Yeah, it's not made by the same guys, right?
I'm not sure. I just remember getting into it, and it has a very strong introduction. And after that, it was just very bland.
I know it lost the Ghibli connection. The selling point of Ni no Kuni 1 was, oh, this is literally the Ghibli animators. And then 2 was, same style, but it's not associated with Ghibli, if I recall correctly.
That makes sense.
Geese Peep, would you like to talk today to the Clambos about Fortnite?
Thanks, Geese. This week, I play.
I don't have really much to say other than I'm just trying to get through the battle pass so I can get my V-Bucks back.
Taylor, you'd love Fortnite because it's Futurama Town now. You got Benders and Leelas and Fries. You literally go into the area of Japan, and there's just the Planet Express ship crashed into the Hypnotoad billboard. It's very sick.
Oh, that's so sick.
It's very sick.
Speaking of battle passes, I completely stopped playing Destiny 2. As most people have. I bought the season, like the big yearly pass for the expansion.
The Witch whatever.
Witch Queen, I believe, is old.
Yeah, the Witch Queen was the last one. It was fine. I'm not a big fan of Bungie's storytelling in Destiny because it just takes itself a little bit too seriously. And it hits the same notes really repeatedly. And I hate when I can imagine a bunch of people in a room saying, oh, yeah, they're going to love this. They're going to think this is so cool.
Although, the end of, I shouldn't spoil the end of Final Fantasy 16, but there are moments where I go, sick.
That whole game is sick, though.
Oh, wait, you haven't even beaten it.
Every single fight is so sick. The whole time, I'm just screaming out sick at the TV.
Yeah. Fortnite, I enjoy the thermal weapons in Fortnite now because when you have them, you can just see your enemies. And when you fire your gun, Clambos, you hit them. It's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Guyera does have Fortnite eyes, so he does have trouble viewing enemies in a normal circumstance. So I'm really glad he's found a weapon that can accommodate his lack of skills.
That was some slowly thrown shade, Geese.
Taylor, why don't you talk about syrup buffet or tofu or Austin sushi?
Yeah, I went to Austin over the weekend, did a little bit of diving, saw like a 4-foot long alligator gar, which was very, very cool.
What's an alligator gar?
It's a very long fish, and an alligator gar has a long snout with teeth that kind of interlock. They're very rare in the spring where I go diving, so that was really nice. Food. So I had sushi. And in the process of looking for sushi in Austin, I found out that they have a lot of really highly acclaimed restaurants. All of the rolls have avocado in them.
Ugh.
Guess what didn't come to Japan until the 1970s? Avocado. I'm sorry for
I love
spoiling the
avocado
answer.
in my rolls.
I'm not really a huge avocado fan. Some people swear by it. I am pretty indifferent. I don't understand all these people who are like, oh, this traditionally trained Japanese chef, and every single roll has avocado in it. There's just something that rubs me the wrong way about that.
The cuisines change. It's time.
Not every single roll.
Yeah, that's fair. Sorry, my Italian came out.
Oh, for audio listeners, yeah, I was laughing because Geese was a talking, but her hands started doing the what's the word for this, Taylor? Give me a fagoo.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
we are really shaking our fingers at the camera. You can see Clambos.
It's like when you pinch like salt,
Chef's
but upside
kiss?
down.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the tail end of chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. Move it from your mouth. Shake it back and forth. Ooh, bada bing.
Maybe have your hand and voice shaken at the same time. Oh, right. Maple syrup. So we go to a breakfast buffet. I'm not the biggest fan of breakfast buffets because my stomach kind of expands as the day goes on.
Right.
So I would prefer to have a dinner buffet because I can eat like 5 plates of food. Breakfast, this time I think I was at 2.5. Yes.
For those unaware, I did the may I interject?
Yeah.
Is there a legal term for, pardon me, everyone, I need to interrupt? Not objection, because I don't have an objection. I just have an additional thing to say. Legally,
continuance, Your Honor.
Yes.
Addition, Your Honor.
I have an addition. What you do, Taylor?
I'll allow it.
All right.
Imagine a lawyer after the judge says I'll allow it, saying, all right.
Got him. You're going to regret that one. What you do, obviously, and yes, this isn't the case for every buffet in the world, but the buffets it is the case for, it's the perfect trick. I call it the Brett C. And it's, of course, when you go in the tail end of breakfast, enjoy all your breakfast goods, and then they switch it over to lunch, and now you enjoy your lunch, and they don't kick you out.
Now you're cooking with fire. So we went to this breakfast buffet, had a couple plates, and the waiter that was helping us, very nice. I sneak these little bottles of pure maple syrup from this company from Vermont. They're 2-ounce bottles, and they're adorable. I sneak a couple in my pocket,
Taylor,
and I'm getting ready to bust out of the joint with this maple syrup. I'm so racked with guilt that I ask the server, I say, excuse me, ma'am, may I have these 2 bottles of maple syrup? I love maple syrup. And we're telling her how much we love maple syrup. And she says, oh, do you want some maple syrup? And I said, yes. She comes back and brings 24 tiny bottles of maple syrup. So we have about 50 ounces of maple syrup, courtesy of this lady.
Nice.
Oh, I mean, it's so sick.
Paid that breakfast paid for itself with just
the pretty
syrup
much.
you got.
It was included in our hotel. It was this super luxury place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the biggest fan of luxury hotels, but gun case.
I hate luxury.
It's not that I hate them. I'm pretty indifferent. A place called the Fairmont, and we got upgraded to the 36th floor, which was very cool.
Well, while Taylor was having the time of his life on the top floor of the Burj Dubai, I was eating free food from Wario64 because he keeps tweeting free burritos from Chipotle and very cheap discounted coconut almond bars. So I've been eating like a pauper, like a peasant, while Taylor's been living in the high lives of Colombia. In this
his poor existence at a luxury hotel in Austin.
poor guy.
I'm not belaboring my life. I'm
Belabor
saying.
Let's move on to Poke News. Can we get
Poke News of the Week.
Hold on.
Yeah, we need it.
Poke News of the Week.
Lambo, we got so much new. Look,
Listen.
the Pokemon Presents happened. There's way too much news to cover it all, so let's just cover a couple things. Everybody open your docs and look at the brand new revealed Pokemon. We have Raging Bolt, which is, of course...
That's such a stupid looking Pokemon.
I thought you were going to say that's such a stupid thing to say.
It's a Raikou, but it's an ancient Paradox Raikou. He's a dinosaur now.
Is it supposed to look like a cloud with lightning coming out? Is that what they're going for?
A little bit, yes, but it's a Brontosaurus. Long neck.
Well, it's dumb looking.
Well,
I have been watching a lot of Jurassic Park fan-made films, analog horror, and stuff that they make in Jurassic Park games. There's some good stuff. I wish Jurassic Park would go back to being horror.
But just like we had the Suicune that was a raptor, and so that means we're definitely going to get an Entei dinosaur in DLC 2. And we also have Iron Crown, which is, of course, a future Cobalion. Very sick, from Generation 5. And if you keep scrolling down, Geese, I have terrible news for you in Poke News of the Week. We have confirmation from the Presents there will be no Tera Pendant because Terapagos has different forms. And both forms were just Terapagos. Baby Terapagos and big ol' Terapagos that was revealed a while ago. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, but my name is better.
Yeah, it's okay.
I agree.
But yeah, we got the World Championships coming up. We're probably going to get some more news there. Detective Pikachu sequels coming out. A lot of people are going to be into that. You can download Pokemon Trading Card Game on Game Boy Color and download Pokemon Stadium 2 or Pokemon Stadium GS in Japan on the Nintendo Switch online services. All sorts of Poke News. The DLCs look very, very sick. Can't wait. Applin has a new evolution. Diplin. Very cute. He looks like a little candy apple. Very sick.
Is this Raging Bolt Raikou just that thing from Horizon?
It does look like the Horizon Zero Dawn guy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, Clambos, making its triumphant return. Taylor, press your drum roll button, please. It's time to send it over to reporter Geese Peep, who's got the weather in Innsbruck, Austria. Hello, I am from Austria.
Hi, it's me. Reporter Geese Peep, reporting live in Innsbruck, Austria. Oh, it's so wet here. It's raining. And it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so you need to wear a light rain jacket. Anyway, I love the Alps and Edelweiss. Anyway, adieu.
Hello, Leute. All right, thank you so much, reporter Geese Peep, for your report out in the Alps. Hope you enjoy Austria. Drive down Bavaria, get some pretzels, or drive
So
up.
drive up?
I'm not a geography major, Geese, like some of us in the room.
Yeah, I was a geography major with honors.
With honors.
Oh, the honorable geographist Geese.
Geese, please tell us the name of the episode of Pokemon in English. Episode number 14 this week.
Fly, Wattrel.
Or in Japanese, Tobe Kaiden. Geese Peep, my question to you this week is, did you know that Wattrel couldn't fly because you already accidentally watched this entire episode or some of it?
No, I only accidentally watched up to the point where Roy finds Wattrel on a rock. So,
All right.
So I did not know the extent. I just had a feeling, okay?
Just had a feeling. Clambos, I sure hope you've watched the last few episodes, because if not, you're going to be confused.
If not, why do you listen to this podcast?
Dot can't fix the ship. It's still goofed, Clambos, from all the Magneton and the evil green-haired man, and she's furious at Frito's incompetence, suggesting they fly without computers, Geese. Are you kidding me?
Without the data entry?
It's okay. We have time. Roy's not even back from catching the Wattrel. Murdoch says, Liko, we have to go shopping. It was very dramatic. Don't act like it wasn't dramatic when he said we gotta go shopping.
It was dramatic.
It's almost as if, Clambos, there's more than just shopping that Murdoch has planned.
It makes you think.
Makes you think! Noctowl then sounds an alarm on top of the ship. Fritos jumps on top of Charizard to go investigate. And Taylor, what on earth does he see up in the skies?
A magneton.
Well, isn't it more than one? Who's to say?
Maybe.
Could be.
And he notices that they aren't behaving regularly.
Oh my god. Flamethrower, Charizard! As soon as we did the flamethrower and the Magneton dispersed, the ship's back online. Dot almost chokes to death on a donut. She can't believe it.
The donut looks tasty.
And then we see that Roy found Wattrel, and it's intro song time. Doodle-doodle-doo. Oh no, Geese.
Oh.
Geese, Wattrel's just sitting there sulking away.
He's sulking.
Who's he looking at? Who's he looking up at?
He's
looking up at the rest of his friends. I'm sorry, was that a question to you, Taylor?
Oh my god.
He's sad because of his friends. He's looking at them.
And they're flying up to the Gimme Ghoul Tower, Clambos, where you can catch a Gimme Ghoul up there. They're always waiting for you.
What are gimme ghouls?
They're these little guys that kind of look like a battery, like the tiny batteries that you put into
Like a
watches.
sea battery?
Look it up. He like drags around a little coin.
Aww.
Little
It's
Gimme
called a
Ghoul coin.
gabagool?
You hate what he evolves into, Goldango.
Yeah.
What's Goldango?
The guy that Geese gave a hard time, who's the number
Aw.
1,000 Pokemon, and he deserves your respect.
Mm.
Fuecoco's chasing some male combies, Geese, but Taylor, who jumps out of the bush to Fuecoco's scared. All right, let's try one more time. Taylor, who jumps out of the bush when Fuecoco chases the male combies?
Vespiquen.
She's only females can become Vespiquen. She starts chasing Fuecoco and he's running, and then Roy's running, and then Wattrel's getting involved because he's sitting there, and now Vespiquen's chasing all of them. And Geese, what does Roy do to escape the Vespiquen?
Jumps into the water.
Looney Tune style. He does
Poor
the
Hogator.
above the water. His feet dangle for a bit. Yeah, I felt bad for Fuecoco too because he's a fire type. He doesn't want to be
And
thrown in
he's
some water.
always by water. His first episode, he was next to the ocean.
That was a
I'm
very
sure-
good one example. The speech pattern was, I'm going to list more than one example, and then you just stopped.
And he jumped off of the airship into the water.
Taylor set me up for failure because
Yeah.
now it's going to sound like I edited it poorly because people are clearly going to hear that speech pattern of, oh, he's making a list. And then it's just a no continuation? I'm getting
Yeah.
goofed.
Getting goofed.
Getting goofed with Geese and Guyera. And Taylor. Well, once they're in the water, Vespiquen flies off. She's not interested anymore. She's not going in the water. Geese, Wattrel runs up and asks if they're okay.
He's so cute.
Roy
then-
does get attached to easily the most expressive Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Roy is, I mean, again, he's from Kanto. Just anybody who's not from Kanto, he's loving it. He loves all these Paldean folks.
Fuecoco has the best facial expressions. Raikou has the best. What's his name? Kaiden?
All right. His name is Wattrel.
Wattrel? That's a bad name.
It's a
Wattrel
very
has-
good name. He evolves into
It's a good name.
Kilowattrel.
Because it's because it's
Oh,
electricity and
okay,
petrol, like the bird.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
It's
That's
a
such
top-
a good name.
It's a top tier name, Taylor.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Taylor!
It's a good name. It's a good name.
And we learn that Wattrel is afraid of heights.
Oh my god. And Roy's just trying to give him berries, but Wattrel's still a bit standoffish and putting his little wings up thinking it's battle time. The Pokemon are very pleased once Roy brings out the berries. And they start having a conversation, Geese. And they're talking about flying. And Roy jumps in the water again. The Pokemon are mortified. They can't believe he would do that voluntarily.
What does Wattrel do? Man, such a good name.
When Roy brought out the Oranberry, my first thought was, what's that weird looking Pokeball?
That's what I thought too.
Oh,
Okay,
you
great.
guys.
And then Wattrel makes the most adorable face. I
So
had an
cute.
emotional reaction to that. I was like, he's so happy.
It's a good
Yeah,
face.
He's blushing.
I took a lot of screen grabs on this episode. Okay, look. We normally save how
Listen.
we feel about the episode maybe a little bit later. I'm telling you right now, this episode's got everything. You got adorable stuff. You got sick stuff. You got plot. You got catching new pokes. Spoilers. What a good episode this is. I'm telling you.
I think this might be my favorite episode.
We got, if I'm having to worry about which of the good faces I'm going to use in the little thumbnail, that's good news. That's a good problem to have. If I'm at the end of an episode and I only have one or two screen grabs, I'm thinking, shucks. But this episode, no. We got, good faces, good images.
Wattrel does something, and Roy has the reaction of, oh, that's cool. Try this. And I love it.
God, I can't wait for this English episode to have a 45-year-old
Emotionally developed
tenor Broadway star voice Roy. That's going to be great. Now, they should probably have a woman voice. Anyway, Wattrel's still too spooked about heights, still too spooked about water, so he's not ready to jump in the water with Roy. Then we cut to Liko and Murdoch. They're walking on the way to shopping. Sprigatito and Rockruff are running, playing, being cute geese. And then, Geese, Murdoch gives Liko a big thank you. For what?
For inviting Dot to the inside picnic.
Liko says, oh, yeah, well, Dot helped me a lot, too. Gave me the courage to talk to my dad, tell him what I want to do. But she's still under the impression that Dot is just a big, big fan of Nino thing. Silly Liko.
Silly Liko.
They have a heartwarming talk, Clambos, all about Gambante. We're going to do our best. And then Liko just kind of stares up at Murdoch. She looks like a baby or a turtle. It made me think of the line from The Office of, close your mouth, sweetie, you look like a trout. Oh, sick, it's ice cream time.
You two ever have sea salt ice cream?
No, what do I look like? A Roxas? What do I look like? Twilight Townian?
That's all I want is to try sea salt ice cream.
It's good.
Where did you have it?
At the sea.
Twilight Town.
I think I had it in Brighton in the UK.
Brighton in the UK?
Yeah. Oh, I love Brighton. I wish I went there more.
What is to love about Brighton?
Geese Peep, can I hear Otsune Miku's cousin from Leeds?
Oi, it's me, Hatsune Miku, in Brighton, UK, where you can go to the pride capital of the UK, and it's a really cool city, and there's a pier, and there's the place where they had a Eurovision, where ABBA won Eurovision.
I love ABBA.
Then we cut to Fuecoco and never mind. I've decided in my notes to just write the letter F for shorthand. Very convenient, very foolproof. Then we cut to Fritos and Charizard chasing that Magneton, presumably back to the villainous lair, you would imagine. He's getting a phone call update. And then we cut back to Liko and Murdoch. They got a bunch of small bottles of spice, I'm guessing, in a little Japan flag bag. But man, Clambos, they were out of spicy Urban Mystica. And Clambos, I'm telling you right now, if you're telling me If the video games were like that, where you could just buy Herba Mystica, I'd be in business. I didn't mention it in games, but I've also been playing a lot of Scarlet and Violet. I'm doing a bunch of raids, getting a bunch of experience and Tera shards from these Event Blissey raid dens. But unfortunately, Blissies also normally drop Herba Mystica, which we all know you need for your good shiny sandwiches. But because they're event blissies, they won't drop the Herba Mystica. And it's a travesty, Clambos. And if you're telling me in this anime world you could just buy some in a store, oh my.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. But Geese, oh my God, who's in the bushes snooping?
Team Rocket!
If only. No, it's of course Behem, the Generation 5 alien psychic Pokemon. He's very, very suspicious, Clambos. He teleports out of the way. And then, Taylor, who do Liko and Roy bump into?
Liko and Roy or Liko and Murdoch?
Yeah.
I was cracking up when they walked up to Roy and he just had an elaborate hay training setup.
I'm so sick. Roy's such a good human being. He sees a Pokemon in need, Clambos. He says, I'm fixing this. I'm going to fix this problem. Wattrel, look, I made all this hay, all this grass. It's a tiny little jump. You can do it. And he keeps showing Wattrel, look how easy it is. And Wattrel's still nervous, still scared.
Such a kid.
Now that Liko and Murdoch are here, everybody's cheering for Wattrel, saying, you can do it, buddy. You can jump. And Geese, what does Wattrel do?
He does it. Yum.
He's so happy and proud. His little cheeks. Geese.
It's so cute. I screamed out loud.
Very different than my experience when I was nervous to do something. I was a kid learning how to ride a bike, and we were very engaged in our neighborhood. So the first time I was supposed to ride a bike without training wheels, the entire neighborhood was in the cul-de-sac to watch me, and I got scared and I stayed in.
Then we cut to the Magneton flying into Lavincia City. Fritos follows it to a dead-end alley. Oh no, we know this is a trap, Clambos. Behem sneaks up from behind. And the evil man with the green hair gets on Behem's Bluetooth headset and tells Behem to Dark Pulse. And Magneton Zap Cannon. Oh my God, what do we gotta do?
I love how competent the villains are in this series.
Yeah, he knows what's up. Charizard Flamethrower. Oh no, Behem uses Psychic to stop Charizard. Oh no. Magneton uses Zap Cannon. Clambos. Charizard is a flying type. A fire flying type. That Zap Cannon is doing so much damage, and he's hitting him again and again. And Charizard can't move because of the Psychic. Oh, there's so many attacks. We cut to the evil control room, and Green Hair Man and Umbreon are watching all these monitors. Meteor Beam! Oh, Clam, when I tell you, I about lost it. Do you realize Meteor Beam is a rock-type move, Clambos? Do you realize Charizard is fire and flying?
Oh, no.
That's 4 times weak.
Wow.
A 120 power move? Rock type move, or nobody could survive that. Not the strongest poke in the world could survive a 4 times weak 120 base power move after being hit by a bunch of Zap Cannons. I think this is the end. This is the end for Charizard. But then what happens?
Good job, Geese.
It's time to terrestrialize. That's right, Clambos. We get the sickest scene you could ever possibly imagine, where I took multiple screenshots. Uncle Fritos pulls out his Tera orb, and everything starts flashing and Sailor Moon transforming. And Charizard, it's tough not to say Geese after an and like that. And Charizard, Tera, changes into a dark type and is so sick. He's all crystalline and 3D. And
he has one of those cool, it's like one of those dancers that has the big fruit baskets on their head.
Got the evil face, yes, for Tropicana or what have you.
Okay, just to clear the air, everybody thinks that this design's a little silly with the hat, right?
They're fine. Poke News of the Week update. It looks
Poke
like
News of the Week.
for the DLC, we are going to see more Tera type individual designs that aren't just that typing, because that every Pokemon that dark Tera types looks like that will have that just evil ghost. Well, it's not a ghost, but that evil looking face on top of their head. Ogerpon in the new DLC, when he terastalizes, his mask gets really big and ornate. It doesn't look like he gets a separate hat. But anyway,
that'll be good.
Poke News of the Week update from before. Remember, they just gave away this Charizard. When this episode aired in Japan, they gave away a dark Tera type Charizard based on Frito's Charizard. In Scarlet Violet, Geese, I have it. Her mouth is wide open. She can't believe it.
Thanks, Game Freak.
And Clambos. As soon as Charizard dark terastalizes, as you well know, if you try to use a psychic attack on a dark type, it's going to do 0 times damage. So Behem tries to use psychic, but to no avail. And Frito says, Charizard, use Tera Blast. And Tera Blast is, of course, the same type as your Tera type. So he pummels Behem with a dark type Tera Blast. And he's, oh my God, a psychic type Behem doesn't stand a chance. It's so shit.
Now, real quick for the Clambos at home, how does terastalizing work?
That's a long conversation. Every region has their own little special thing. There's Mega Evolution in Kalos. Galar has Gigantamax. Terastalizing is in Paldea. So basically, once you use your Tera Orb, you have to refresh it at a Pokemon Center. So that means that once per battle, if you stop in between Pokemon Centers, you can terastalize, and every Pokemon has a Tera type. The Tera type does not need to be its actual type. You can catch a Pokemon that has a different Tera type, or you can go to a place and feed it some food with giving a bunch of Tera shards that changes Tera type, and it just introduces an entire new mechanic of battling because it will change the type of your Pokemon. So this happened. Don't you remember we watched the episode when he fought Brassius? When Roy fought Brassius and they Tera type?
I was just wondering. Yeah, I remember that. I was wondering if Frito's chose to have it be a dark type to cover its weaknesses.
Oh, no. Well, the thing, you can't just at the moment decide his Tera type. That Charizard is a dark Tera type. He didn't.
Okay.
You can't just say.
And he was born that way.
Not necessarily. He could have
like Frito's.
He could have fed him the dark Tera type soup or whatever.
Because that'd be real clever. And I could see Frito's doing that, saying like, "Oh boy, he's weak to psychic."
Charizard's not weak to psychic.
Well, there's something like that.
He's weak to rock.
Yeah,
so that stopped the rock attack. But then Frito's calls out the villain. What does he say, Geese? Something like, "I'm done playing hide and seek. Get out here now."
Yeah, he says that.
Yeah, he says that. Then after Behem's knocked out, Charizard unterastalizes, goes back to normal, and both of the evil Pokemon teleport back. And then we cut to Frito flying its sunset. And Geese, Taylor, who does Frito also run into on his flight back?
Is he running into Roy?
You know what? You say anybody, the answer is going to be yup.
Amaranth.
Frito runs into absolutely everybody. Roy, you name it. Liko, Murdoch, Wattrel, the Pokes. They're all here. All the stars are here. Clambo's Wattrel is still too spooked for the big water jump. And we get a real quick cut to nighttime. Everyone's in the breakfast nook, and they're discussing the events. Though, Geese, would you agree that it was curious how coy Frito's was?
I made a note. That he's being so coy. Why? He's being a bad leader. He's not communicating with his team.
Is he not trying to worry them?
Maybe he doesn't want to talk about it in front of the kids. But even still, I feel like the kids should be in the know because Liko has the pendant.
That's for sure, Geese. That's for darn tootin', as we'll find out later in the episode. But Yeah, a big thing happened to Frito. Why he's not willing to tell anybody, because they're all talking about their day, and they say, Frito, what happened today? And he was like, nothing. It's kind of weird.
That's poor leadership.
Well, the ship's not going to be fixed until tomorrow, probably. We got too many checks to do. Let's go ahead and cut to Roy. He's asking Ludlow for a little bit of help with Wattrel. Ludlow, of course, playing with his fishing rod, going fishing, like always.
So I was gonna say that what Fritos is kind of doing is reminding me of what this character named Jiraiya did in Naruto Shippuden when he went off on his own.
All right, it's time for Taylor's Anime Minute. You got 20 seconds. Go.
He was looking for pain, and he went on a cool recon mission and did all his sick stuff.
Very sick. Neat. Thank you, Taylor. And then we see Wattrel longingly looking up at the moon.
Taylor's Anime Minute of the Week.
And the Gimme Ghoul Tower. Very sad.
Ghoul Tower.
Gabagool Tower.
K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Geese.
The Gimme Ghoul Tower.
Now it's time for the next day. Oh, what a glorious morning it is. The spread they have prepared after stopping by and getting groceries. We got quiche. We got croquettes, croissants. We got rolls. Is that tea? Is that French onion soup?
I thought you were going to say, and quiche.
Guys, can we talk about quiche for a second?
The fact that we all think that old fishing guy is not really old and is just someone wearing a costume? Yes, we can, Geese.
Well, maybe that. But quiche, I feel like quiche looks so good and so yummy, but I feel like it always doesn't sit right in my tummy. And it's not as filling as I want it to be.
Where are you getting it?
My mom makes it, but the other place I used to get it was at this restaurant that's inside of an old barn that's now a thrift store.
Love my old barn restaurants.
It's not filling me. It's not satisfying, but it looks so good.
Add more cheese to it.
We'll find you some good quiche. Okay, then it's a very sick breakfast. Breakfast.
Wait, what's your thoughts on quiche?
It's okay. I haven't eaten quiche a lot, so I don't have strong opinion.
I enjoy it quite a bit. It's supposed to be light. It's not supposed to be really filling.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But then everybody's asking about Roy. Wait, where's Roy? Why is he not eating his breakfast? It's going to get cold. Geese, we cut to the cutest little cardboard invention. What's Roy doing?
He made a little cardboard model of Wattrel to test this harness he made using the fishing rod, and it's very cute.
It's adorable.
He's got some rope attached to it. Oh my god. We cut to adorable snoozing Wattrel, sleeping, being a cutie, and then Ludlow teaching some fishing tips. Roy runs up, wakes him up. To be honest, Wattrel is a bit taken aback by the cardboard version of himself. And then, Geese, please explain how cute the next scene is of getting Wattrel already.
He's so cute. He's got his wings spread and he's in the harness. Oh, it's adorable.
Roy's gonna fly him out over the water. I think I have written down here, he's so spooked. Who's to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's spooked.
He's getting scared. Liko's all ready to support. But then, interestingly, suspiciously, Liko's phone sends her a push notification. Instagram was listening to her talk about spicy Urban Mysticas, and it says, oh, hey, Liko, you know how spicy Urban Mysticas were sold out yesterday? Well, they're back in stock in the store. You better buy them quick.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So she was being observed the whole time?
Yeah, Bahim's been watching the whole time.
I thought Bahim wasn't observing them while they were at the store because Bahim was fighting Frito.
He teleports around a lot. But I'm pretty sure Evil Man has a wiretap on her Rotom phone. If he's able to send fraudulent
that's a good point.
things,
yeah,
you can probably hear him through there too. Although that's spoiler. Anyway, Liko says, oh, I'm sorry, Roy. I got to run off and buy this spicy Urban Mystica because it's going to sell out. Murdoch really needs it for his cooking. And then Geese. Roy casts the fishing rod with Wattrel inside. And Wattrel's so spooked, and his wings start electrifying. And then what happens?
The electricity breaks the rope, and
And-
he falls, and then he starts to fly.
Clambos, he's flying, and the wind gusts him up so high into the air, he's with his flock. And he lands on the tower, and he's so proud, and they're cheering, and he's a happy little bird. Oh, God, it's so... Roy, great work all around. Murdoch runs up. He saw the whole thing. Oh, wow. Well, it's time to go. Guys, time to get back on the ship. We're leaving. So Roy wishes Wattrel a good life, and he just walks off. But Geese, Wattrel's having fun with his friends. But what happens when he sees Roy start to walk away?
Yeah, what happens, Geese?
He gets sad.
Clambos, Wattrel doesn't want Roy to leave. Roy's his friend now. And so, Clambos, he decides he's gonna fly down to Roy. He's not gonna let him leave him. So he jumps. Oh, God, he's struggling. Oh, but it's so sweet. He's trying to fly to Roy. Taylor, what does Murdoch give to Roy when this happens?
Murdoch gives Roy a Pokeball.
This is it, Clambos. Roy says, but a Pokeball? Doesn't he want to spend time with his friends? And Murdoch says, well, from the looks of things, he wants to spend time with you. And Geese, the Wattrel. Oh my God. A wind blows him away. He's falling. He's going to fall in the water. But Roy,
Our boy.
pulls up the perfect pitcher stance. He throws that ball. He curveballs it. Fuecoco jumps in the air and there's an orange's background for some reason. We get sick music from the television series Lost. Oh my God. Wattrel's just about to fall in the water, but the Pokeball curves at the very last second. Hits Wattrel. Wattrel turns into energy, goes in the Pokeball. It's still falling in the water. Roy jumps. He runs. He slides. He puts his hands out over the water. And Geese, he catches the Pokeball.
Yeah.
He caught the Pokemon. Wattrel pops out. And then what happens, Geese?
Wattrel flies up and hugs Roy, and it's so cute, and he's blushing and smiling.
This made me feel so bad for Liko. Roy is making such progress as a
Mhm.
trainer, as a collector.
Emotional
Liko.
intelligence.
We have to remember, though, they have different dreams and goals and treasures. I don't recall Liko saying, oh, I want to be the best Pokemon trainer and catch a bunch of Pokemon. Her goal
Yeah,
is, I
Roy-
want to see Grandma and learn about my pendant.
Yeah, and go
He
shopping.
also wants to be a trainer.
Well,
Mainly the pendant. And I guess by the end of the episode, she's making some progress towards that goal.
uh-oh, Taylor. Then we cut to Liko walking towards the dark alley that Fritos was in having his big battle, looking for this Herba Mystica. She says, what on earth? My Rotom phone map said that this is where the Herba Mystica shop was. Where on earth? This is just a dark, spooky alley.
I could relate to Liko so much at this point because I was trying to get my birthday drink from Starbucks yesterday. Google Maps sent me down a one-way street in the wrong direction.
Oh, Clambos, it's a trap. Who appears out of nowhere in the dark, spooky alley approaching this young child. Green-haired man.
Maybe.
He's pretending. He's putting on an act that he's just some nice guy. He's acting like, young lady, are you okay?
I love how he's wearing a disguise. How he's like, I'm going to tie my hair back and put on glasses.
This dirty dog. He has the technology in his pocket to goof Liko's phone so she can't call for help. And then Behem hypnotizes her and Sprigatito.
Simon says that's what the hypnotizing
Just Simon.
method
You don't
was.
say the says. It's just Simon.
Simon. You can't. You can just play Simon.
Geese.
Let's all play Simon.
What? After Evil Man hypnotizes Liko, what does he do?
He steals the pendant.
Like stealing candy from a baby.
From a baby. And he says, after he unhypnotizes them, "Oh, young girl, young lady, did you perhaps lose something important?" And Liko says, "What?" And he says, "Oh, nothing. Never mind." And the episode ends. Oh no, Clambos, what are we going to do?
Poor Liko.
Geese, please deliver us. That was very funny. She was, I don't know, nodding off, and then I said geese, and she jumped into action.
Very real. Right.
Geese, please tell us about this week's Uncle Frito's Pokemon Professor Seminar of the Week.
This week, it's the Storm Petrel Pokemon Wattrel, or in Japanese, Kaiden. When Wattrel's wings catch the wind, it can generate a certain something. But do you know what it is? Is it A, enthusiasm, B, excitement, or C, electricity?
It's C, electricity, because it's an electric type.
Can you imagine that? I didn't know that they mainly hung out by the ocean. That makes so much sense. Imagine them hunting and just having electricity by the ocean.
Do you not remember them talking about how they dive into the water and electrocute their prey?
No, I don't.
You said that last week, too, that you don't remember that. So you just blocked that out multiple times. Impressive.
It's called PTSD
Oh my
from
God.
thinking of the fish.
But yes, it's electricity. Its wings convert wind power into electricity. And then, like Taylor said, they are often near the sea because of strong winds there. And Frito says the direction of the wind will decide the battle.
Probably favorite episode of this series.
So much happened.
So
Yeah.
sick. So cute. New Poe.
Well, everything is progressing the plot. And that's not something that we always get from every character, like all the main characters moving forward.
And the relationships are growing too. We're talking about, oh, thank you so much, Liko, for making Dot come out of her shell. I mean, I'm telling you, the next couple episodes, we're probably going to get a brand new lease on life
Pokemon.
with the Dot.
Right.
So it's a good
Nice.
episode of Pokemon. I really love Wattrel. He's so cute. God, what else is there to say? I feel like I'm just repeating myself.
I think
Yeah, I
we've
mean,
said
it's a great
enough.
episode.
It speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself, Clambos.
Uh-huh.
I just want to give some sort of analysis why it's so good. It's just
It
so
has-
exciting.
The pacing feels natural. When I watched it, I was like, oh, I bet this happens next. I didn't really experience that. I was engrossed in the episode while I watched it. I wasn't anticipating what was going to happen next. There was multiple characters. The team interacted together.
They weren't wasting our time.
Yeah, there was character development, inter-character development, a very cute Pokemon, sick fight. I also really love an episode where you catch a new partner. That's always exciting.
To sum it up, Clambos, it's got everything you would want in an episode of Pokemon. It delivers every reason you would turn on an episode of Pokemon. So I recommend it. You should watch it. All right, Geese, let's move on to the wrap up.
All right, everyone. Thank you all for listening.
All right.
All right. You can follow us on social media at Look, Listen, Cast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can follow him on twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
Shouts out to Prof_Ticklebit for creating our website. And
The boilerplate.
thank you to our supporters. You can support us by going to looklistencast.com and clicking on Spotify for podcasters and or anchor.fm. Thank you so much. Please, everyone, recommend this podcast to your friends and families, particularly nephews and grandmothers. Any other family members this week? Geese or Taylor?
Second cousins,
Second cousins.
great aunts.
I'm in it for the grandmothers.
And of course, like every week, we end with the question, please send your questions to looklistencast@gmail.com. This week's question comes from Triforce Vigor, and she asks, what do you think Pokemon dream about?
That's a very good question because Pokemon kind of straddle the level of awareness between people and animals.
I think
So
they dream
I'm-
about berries.
Yeah, I'm just picturing them like running in their sleep like a dog.
Yeah, me too.
little legs are going, chasing some
Just Charizard like flapping its wings.
Squovit and eating some berries.
I wonder if a Pokemon's ever evolved in its sleep. That seems
Oh
like
my
something
God.
Snorlax would do.
Well, he does have a he has a Gigantamax form. But you know some Pokemon like Alakazam or Mewtwo, they probably have full giant dreams, right? Where they're
What about that
solving
koala
equations.
that's always sleeping?
Komala is always sleeping.
I bet he's
Ac-
dreaming about something.
That's a very good point, Geese. There are literally Pokemon who are just asleep all the time and use moves such as Snore to attack while they're asleep. So
That's very sick.
what are they dreaming about? Probably the battle they're in the middle of. Yes.
Good question.
I'm tired.
All
Exactly.
right.
That's the mindset.
Clambos, Geese is tired. That means we gotta wrap it up. Sorry to everyone interested in us continuing to talk this week.
No, we can keep talking.
No, it's
Sorry.
time to go.
No.
Geese is nap time.
You've said enough.
Sleep, sleep, sleep. Thank you so much for listening, Clambos. We'll talk to you next week with episode 15, you would imagine. Episode 15
Probably.
of Horizons Pokemon Anime and episode 58 of Look, Listen, Cast with Geese and Guyera, also Taylor. Hey,
Okay.
Another thing they announced, the Pokemon Presents is a really sick-looking YouTube miniseries about some Paldean trainers, and the art style looks like the really good stuff. So maybe I'll find a way to incorporate that. Maybe we'll do an episode on that. We'll see. We'll see.
Is it that kind of animation
Who's
that I
to
like?
say?
It's the kind everybody likes. It's the good stuff. I can tell.
Is it like Sun and Moon?
No, it's like the Nidoran short, like the Poketoons, the ones that were just really well made, the
Oh.
shorts. So yeah, I don't know if we do catch up. Who's to say? We'll figure it out. Clambos, thanks so much for listening. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Geese Pika.
Goodbye.
And a third. Well,
Bye.
maybe a different character on the mood board.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
There you go. Also, here's a story Geese has about a rash that the entire conversation surrounding it was cut out, but she threatened that if I removed the story, there would be consequences. So instead, it's just here at the end of the episode. So technically, it's not cut out.
One time I got a rash. Let me tell this story. It's funny.
Go on, Geese.
One time I got a rash because for the final of the for the final class in my college course, History of Vietnam, our professor brought us pho.
Wait, you took History of Vietnam?
Yes.
Okay.
I was an East Asian Studies minor.
That's cool.
Anyway, so he brought us pho, and I accidentally spilled some on my leggings.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, I had back-to-back classes all that day.
Uh-huh.
So I just had, pho, like, marinating in my leggings for a whole day.
Oh, no.
And I got back, and I got a really bad rash that lasted quite a while. My mom was like,
You got
"Just
a
put-"
pho rash.
I got a pho rash, and my mom was like, just put some, cortisone. What is it called? Like
Yeah,
cream,
cortisone.
just
Cortisol.
yeah, on it.
Yeah.
And it got worse, and then I finally went to the doctor, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you should not have added any. You should not have put that on. That definitely made it worse. Just
I
you
thought that
gotta
was
let it air it out."
anti-inflammatory.
I don't know. Maybe it was something about the pho. I don't know. Anyway, that's my story about how I got rash from soup.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Peep. Thank you for listening to the Geese Peep Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company